Well, hello out there, Redbird. How you doing tonight, my friends? Welcome to Redbird. Thanks for coming to join us on this beautiful Tuesday evening. If you've never been to Redbird before on a Tuesday night, you will have the fortuitous luck to be joining us on a Three Little Birds night. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is a banger Three Little Birds lineup, but I'm going to get to our fantastic artists in just a moment. There's a couple things I just want to take care of right at the very beginning, a couple little housekeeping things. So first and foremost, I do want to point attention to the two super easy ways to tip your artists in the room tonight. There are two easy ways to do it. Ever since Redbird's been throwing shows since about 7 years ago, we've been doing these quote-unquote free shows, and they remain quote-unquote free based on your generosity. So we have an analog tip jar, an old-fashioned cash tip jar at the front of the stage here. But we are modern. We realize that not everyone carries cash. So we have QR codes on every table and also mounted above the kitchen. So just shine your phone on that, turn to the camera app, put your phone on that, and that'll lead you to a site where you can donate whatever you're willing and able to. I have made it a rule in my house to be tipping every artist I possibly can while I can. So I encourage you to take care of these hardworking artists. They are both touring machines, and we're fortunate to have them here at Redbird tonight. The other thing I want to mention, also very important, we are honored and grateful to be standing and sharing space and sharing songs and words here on the unceded, ancestral, and traditional lands of the Okanagan Silk Nation. There's many things we can do to keep researching. One of the things I've been doing is just looking at the Native Lands website. And it's really interesting. As I tour, I've been starting to do these land dedications, and I've been doing a lot of learning just from that one website alone. So, and last but not least, also very important, we are live streaming this show and almost all the Three Little Bird shows in the future on the Rebellious Unicorn Studios YouTube channel. So if you fall in love with this series or have already fallen in love with the series and didn't know you can watch it from home, check out the YouTube channel Rebellious Unicorn Studios and then hit the subscribe button. You'll get all of those shows showing up in your YouTube feed. And they also do little shorts. It's actually a lot of fun. They snip little bits of the show and they show up in the YouTube shorts. All right, how about we introduce you to these two fantastic artists up here. So on your right side, this gentleman has 15 records released to his name. He spent extended time in Germany performing, and he's performed all over the world. Now he's back home in the Okanagan after 7 or 8 moves in the last couple of years. Many, many moves in the last couple of years. He also performs as a duo with his wonderful wife, Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Norm Strauss. And sitting in the center of the stage, this young woman is also a touring machine. Over the last couple of years, she's performed across the world. She's performed in Europe and across Canada, from Newfoundland to the island and everywhere in between. She also performs in a duo with another friend of Redbird, Brand Sanders. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the Redbird stage, Nevaeh Dyson. And we're going to play original music all night long. And, oh, my name's Dan. My name's Dan Tait. I'm your host every week. Hi. Thanks, Nevaeh. And we play original music all night long until 8:30, and then we have open mic after that. So I'm going to start with a tune. I've been working at Big White all week, and I wrote a tune about the lake up at Big White, Rhonda Lake. So this is Rhonda Lake to get us started. Found my way up to Rhonda Lake to watch all the whiskey jacks fly. Little jar full of ashes and endless pale blue skies. Did most of my growing here, from sprout to towering tree. The bumps and scars that I carry now, they remain to remind me. All of my baggage is cheap, it won't be back to bother me. Yet I ain't ready to leave it, 'cause I remember who I used to be. Rolling in just like a hurricane, all those troubled times abound. I take off up that mountain road and I'm keeping the hammer down. The way it feels, oh, when I return, I wanna feel it every day. It keeps me coming on back for more, hoping for a way to stay. All of my baggage is cheap, it won't be back to bother me. And I ain't ready to leave it yet, 'cause I remember who I used to be. Won't you take me home to Ronald Lake? Won't you take me back to those days? I was going alone for a dip in Ronald Lake. It's time for you to see who I really used to be. All of my baggage is cheap, it won't be back to bother me. And I ain't ready to leave it, 'cause I remember who I used to be. Oh, won't you take me home to Ronald Lake? Oh, won't you take me back to the days? Won't you take me home to Ronald Lake? Won't you take me back to the days? I always go alone for a dip in Ronald Lake. It's time for you to see who I really used to be. Thank you very much. Thanks, my friends. And now I will pass the baton to you, Nevaeh. How you doing, buddy?
Me?
Yeah,
I'm good. I am good. It's nice outside.
it is nice outside.
It's really nice. I don't like the hot weather, so it's cooled down and I feel like I can breathe, you know? I feel
I
like-
know exactly what you're talking about.
I was just saying, like, I don't do winter sports or anything like that, but I like the winter because you don't have to go out. I'm, like, out right now, but this is different because this is the one place I go out once a week. And it's fun when I get to play it, too. I play? I play. This is a song about, is anybody superstitious or just me? Oh, okay. Usually it's 0, which is a little bit weird. You're not superstitious, Norm? No? Okay, that's okay. I am. I was raised superstitious, so like I don't pass on the stairs at all. There are exceptions for public spaces like malls. And I don't put new shoes on the table. You can put used shoes on the table. You can't put shoes in a box on a table. So stuff like that.
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's next level.
My great-grandma was a witch, like for real. So we follow that in my house. Anyways, last year, this time last year, I was in Newfoundland playing music and adjusting to the time change. Because I think it's the furthest away I've been home so far playing with a time change. And you're playing, the shows there start at midnight, which they don't here, at least not for me.
They're a late night crowd.
Yeah, they're a big night crowd. Anyways, I got home and I've been gone 2 months. And I'm that age where all my friends are in school, except for me. And it was November, and I didn't know what to do with myself, so I thought I'd get superstitious and it'd like do something for my music. Did nothing. I tried it for one day. I got like, you know, like the soul and the everything, and yeah, it didn't do anything, so I wrote a song about luck instead, but it did nothing for my luck. Could I get a little bit more guitar on my monitor, if that's okay? I'm tired of crossing my fingers and picking up pennies. My hands are sore and my pockets are heavy. Aren't good things supposed to come to those who deserve them? But if you told me you loved me, or I got that promotion, my dog wasn't sick and our view is the ocean, I'd save all the stars for someone else to wish on. Oh, why is it so bad to want more than I have? If I get what I crave, then maybe I'll know who I am. I'm sick of standing on land draws and buying lottery tickets. Got no free time, credit cards to the limit. Can't stop now. What if I want it all? But there's this ticking time bomb, a colossal obsession. It's weighing and breaking me down to a fraction of myself. I work so hard, so does everyone else. Why is it so bad to want more than I have? If I get what I crave, then maybe I'll know who I am. I am not lazy, but you'd be lying if you said success wasn't luck and trying. Then in my head, this is like a big break. But I mainly play alone, so it's not. And these guys have pretty good skills, but I just talk through my breaks until they're done. So this one's done. Oh, why is it so bad? Oh, why is it so bad? Oh, why is it so bad to want more than I have? Oh, why is it so bad to want more than I have? Oh, why is it so bad to want more than I have? If I get what I crave, then maybe I'll know who I am. Thank you.
You have fantastic talking skills. They fit perfectly in that break.
They compensate.
How you doing over there, Norm?
All right.
I see two capos on one guitar right now.
Yeah, that's well, sometimes I have three.
Really? Man.
I don't know why. It's just a thing I do. Well, I'm very happy to be here tonight again, and I think it's the third time on the stage here on this particular event, which I just love. But I thought tonight, for the set list that I would do, the songs that I would do, I wanted to do songs that I don't normally play. Songs that I've written, but for some reason or another, never really made it into my set lists over the years. But I wanted to just sort of take another stab at it, and this is one of them. And I don't know why this never really made it into my live solo sets. Well, I think I do know. I feel like it's one of those songs that I always feel like I need at least a bass player to play with me. But anyways, I like the song, and I wrote it after I was reading an article one day about the birth of bluegrass music. And I'm not really a bluegrass player, but you know, the history of bluegrass music is that it was it was inspired by the sound of the steam trains in the mid-1800s. And so, through the Appalachians and stuff, the steam trains, with the advent of the steam train, introducing this new sound chugging across the plains, And in Appalachia, they used to go down with their instruments and their guitars and their banjos and their fiddles, and they would wait for the trains to come, and then they would start playing to the sound, the chugging sound of the steam engine. And so that's how you get the sound of bluegrass music. That's where it came from. And I thought that was really cool. So I decided to write a song kind of in this vein and kind of celebrating the steam train. And so I hope you can hear the steam train in this song. And the song is called Take the Long Way Around. Will you dance around this town so fast that your feet don't touch the ground, raising dust as you go spinning past? Take the long way around. Can you spin your wheels to pass the time if the strain don't break you down? You trade it for some peace of mind. Take a long way around. Take a long way around. You're like a shooting star. You draw a crowd. Send them home. Come on, take a bow. You're like a freight train running on down the track. Everyone knows when you're in town. With that heavy load you never unpack. Take a long way around. Ooh, ooh, Now, if I was really feeling on top of my game, right now I would rip into this blazing bluegrass lightning fast solo. But instead, I'll just do this. That's impressive, Norm. I found it hard to get to you, moving at the speed of sound. I'm that small town you keep passing through. Take a long way around. Take a long way around. Feel some sand beneath your toes. Don't fear the space that your shadow throws. All this motion, can it wait? Take some time to circumnavigate. Circumnavigate. I saw a flash of light. It looked like you standing out from all the crowd. You're always looking for the fastest routes. Take a long way around. Take a long way around. Take a long way around. Thank you.
So much joy in that song. I felt, I don't know if you guys felt it. I felt the burdens just fall off my back. That was really nice. And the diddle-dong dang solos. Love those.
I almost went with a near, but I went with the diddle-and-dims instead.
I have a good friend who grew up listening to bluegrass, like he from a very young age, and he's always said that bluegrass is just bing bongs to a beat. Bing bong boom. So, just me? All right. Well, I had an idea of what to play, and then Norm played that beauty. Let's do this. I'm gonna take it in another direction. I'm gonna sing a song. It is spoopy season. I don't know if you noticed the beautiful purple and green lights up high, but it is spoopy season. And I wrote a song, unknowingly I wrote a song kind of about spoopy season, rather about a character we see and think about in the spoopy season. And how many times can you say spoopy? But I wrote a song about the Grim Reaper, because I've always thought about the anti-hero and thought about different ways to look at people and different ways to consider individuals and archetypes that we know about. And one of them is the Grim Reaper, and we often think of the Grim Reaper as something scary, as an end. And I was living in Chilliwack, BC at the time, and I was spending a lot of time alone. So it's just me and my thoughts bouncing around like mad in this crazy brain. And I was thinking about the Grim Reaper's job security, which is, you know, it's a weird thing to think about, but they have some pretty solid job security. They've got some great travel perks. You know, they're around the world several times in any day, and they're kind of stuck in a dead-end job. But they're stuck in it for eternity, and so I started feeling for the Grim Reaper, and I realized that there might be a song in that. So I started writing this. This is a tune. This is an ode to the Grim Reaper, maybe a different point of view. And I always contextualize this song this way because it talks a lot about, you know, individuals at their death. And if you don't know what I'm singing about, it sounds like I'm romanticizing a serial killer, which is not really what I'm trying to do here. So this is a song about the Grim Reaper. Met a girl at the smoke shop yesterday. It's a shame that I'm gonna have to take her away. Spare the grim details from her family. She was gonna have to go anyway. See, it's not a serial killer. Then I met a young man in Busan. He was walking around, shaking hands, handing tickets out to heaven, I understand. Till he tripped and he fell on a rubber band. Whoa, I'm not as scary as you might think. Whoa, and I'm as lonely as a kitchen sink. Whoa, and though this job really stinks, I'll hold your hand when you reach the brink. Business trip in a town down in Mexico. Met myself a rowdy pair of gringos. Had too much tequila reposado. Kinda made a sad Cinco de Mayo. Another time near the peak of Mount Everest, I caught up with an investor from Texas. Near the summit he got a little reckless. That's the last time they ever saw him. Oh, I'm not as scary as you might think. Oh, and I'm as lonely as a kitchen sink. Oh, and though this job really stinks, I'll hold your hand when you reach the brink. met a girl at the smoke shop yesterday. It's a shame that I'm gonna have to take her away. Spare the grim details from my family. She was gonna have to go anyway. Oh, I'm not as scary as you might think. Oh, and I'm as lonely as a kitchen sink. Oh, and though this job really stinks, I'll hold your hand. I'll hold your hand. I'll hold your hand when you reach the brink. Thanks very much. Thanks for singing, Nevaeh.
You're welcome. I wrote a paper in high school on that song that Dan wrote. Remember I told you that?
You
a
did
long
tell
time
me
ago?
that.
It wasn't really a paper. You had to write a play about something, and I took a song and then forgot to tell him about it. It was just such a good idea, and it wasn't out, so I was like, I'm gonna like make it into a thing for me, so I feel like I'm still hearing it, you know?
I love it.
Yeah.
So what you got for us?
I have a death song too.
You got a death song? Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. I have a sad one and a happy one, so I'm going to play the happy one because I think the rest of my stuff is a bit slower. But this one also needs like a precursor, else I sound a little bit rude. Death really interests me, and I don't think in like it's in a way of like I think about dying a lot, but I just think like everybody like in life eats and they drink and they sleep and they like maybe get it on and they die, and that's kind of like what we do. And I just think we don't talk about a lot of that stuff. We don't talk about dying, and we don't talk about like the relationship that people have with death and like the environment you are raised in, the way you view it. It affects how you look at it. So I try to write a lot about it, and I wanted to write something because people die at all ages, right? And I tried to write about somebody dying from the perspective of like a 10, 11, 12-year-old girl, 13, like pubescent and in that really like really romantic point of view. So also it sounds like I'm like making this a romantic thing. But I wanted to write a song about somebody that dies, and there's just this girl, and she's kind of thinking about all the missed opportunities that she had. So the example I have is this boy on her street dies, and then she's like, that could have been my lover forever. And now she misses him, and she's all sad, and she's making it about herself and not really understanding how big of a deal it is that somebody passed away. If that kind of makes sense. I think even now when people die, somebody will be like, oh, my aunt died. And you're like, well, my grandpa died. And it's like, you can't compare it, you know? But yeah, so it's new. And there's a line I haven't finished, so I'll just hum, if that's okay. One sec, I'm bugging myself. Talk. What's your favorite season? Go, person beside you. Am I gonna be able to figure it out in 1 second? I think it might be.
Use a tuner.
I had lessons before this, and my kids ate, and he rang them all back and forth, so they're gonna be. There's not much hope. And broke my tuner.
Does this help?
Oh, thanks, Nathan. Thank you. I teach kids guitar lessons, and he went like this on literally all of my tuning pegs today, and I'm like, please don't, and he said he was going to the bathroom when I was writing him a sheet of music to do, and he turned them all down to as low as they can go, so this is the song about the boy that dies. There's a boy who lives on my street, and he passed away last night in his sleep. We spoke once or twice, but I'm certain there was more to us than that. And I didn't think he was that cute, but now all that I dream of are his lips and eyes so blue. And I'm sure if he were here, he'd say he loved me too. Now I can't eat, and when I sleep, I am waking up to tears lining my cheeks. I am completely out of sorts and out of whack. There's one thing left to do. I show up to his funeral all dressed in my best, ready for his mom's approval. And this is the line that I don't know. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-boom. And why am I attracted to a car wreck, a boy that died in his bed? And I wanna be on the losing team in a uniform that's made of comfort. I love tragic scenarios all in my head, and that's why I am pretending I know the boy that is dead. The kids at school are saying that I am crazy, and my little brother's making fun and saying I'm a baby, but they don't know the love I lost, the chance I never got. 'Cause sure, he's dead, and I know that's pretty awful, but nobody's paying me no mind, and it's feeling quite unlawful. 'Cause I am here and he is not. I want some of his sympathy just to drop. Oh, am I attracted to a car wreck, a boy that died in his bed? And I wanna be on the losing team in a uniform that's made of comfort. I love tragic scenarios all in my head, and that's why I'm pretending I know the boy that is dead. I rewrote the bridge, so let's see if I don't mix the two up. I could move cities, change my name, but I fear this will happen again and again. I'm a knot that cannot be undone. You can take my keys, change my passport. Maybe then I'll get a free pass for trying to burn myself on the sun. So find me in a parking lot, sorting through all my thoughts, 'cause I'm jealous of those that have it worse. Every misfortune is rehearsed, and maybe that is why I'm attracted to a car wreck, accidents and things unsaid. I wanna be on the losing team, but can I still reap the winner's benefits? I love tragic scenarios all in my head, and that's why I'm pretending I know the boy that is dead. Thanks.
Very good. Awesome.
Fan flippin' tastic. And more bing bonks.
Big box?
Bing bonks or bing bongs.
Bing bong?
Well, Norm had his bing bong solo,
yeah,
and then
I forgot I did that.
yeah.
Yes. I say it every show now. It's bad. It's been 2, but I have to figure out what the line is.
How fresh is that one?
A week?
Nicely
Maybe?
done. Jeez.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
Oh, come on, now I'm out of tune. Yeah, I got a tuner. You know
It's
me.
contagious.
Well, this song was written, that was a fresh song. This song is an old song. But I virtually have not performed this song live. I did record it with a full band arrangement. And that is probably the reason. I dug it out the other day thinking, I remember that old song. Why don't I ever play that song? And then I started to play it. And then I remembered why. And that is because when we recorded it, we recorded this sweet little guitar part. Have you ever done that when you record a song and then you record a sweet arrangement for it with the band, and then you got to go on stage by yourself and play it without all those extra parts?
Oh, yeah.
You just get heartbroken.
Yeah.
So anyways, tonight I'm going to, like I did in my last song, vocalize the guitar riff. Anyway, this song came out of a conversation I was having with somebody. I don't even know who they were. I can't remember who it was. It was a long time ago now, but they were telling me how they had planned their life from beginning from high school all the way, and we were both middle-aged when we were having this conversation, and that everything had worked out just as if, just the way he had planned it. He had his chosen career. He chose his career when he was 15. He finished high school, went to university, got his degree, got his master's, wife, 2 children, which is what he wanted, a house in Victoria somewhere, and life was just going exactly the way that he had planned. And I just thought, oh, there's something really wrong with that. That is not how my life has worked out. And I mean, for instance, I chose my career when I was 15. I wanted to be an airline pilot. And so I went and took flight lessons and took a year of flight lessons, and then I found out that can't be an airline pilot if you're colorblind. And I'm colorblind, so that was the end of that. And that's when I started picking up the guitar. So this song is kind of, I thought about that conversation for a long time afterwards, and this song is kind of my response to that person who I've never met again. I don't know who they are anymore. I hope they're not watching this video. All right, here we go. So I think this is the solo debut. I think I've played this once before, years ago with the band, but never as a solo. So I'm nervous. That's the guitar part. Mad is the tempest that my life is made of. I'm in the eye of the storm. There may be colors that I cannot tell the shade of. I just dress in layers to keep me warm. All of the pieces seem so unconnected to the untrained eye. The plot has thickened in a way unexpected. It looks rehearsed, but it's all improvised, just as if I planned it every day the way it's supposed to be, just as if I planned it. But nobody's more surprised than me. Every day success is getting a little nearer. No point in keeping it at bay. I'll take the credit for the smoke and the mirror. Our little secret I will never give away, just as if I planned it. Every day the way it's supposed to be, just as if I planned it. But nobody's more surprised I to believe in coincidence making sense. Just as if I planned it. Every day the way it's supposed to be, just as if I planned it. But nobody's more surprised as if I planned it. Every day the way it's supposed to be, just as if I planned it. But nobody's more surprised than me. Nobody's more surprised than me. Oh. Wow, thank you.
It sounds like you're just really good at scatting.
What's that?
You sound like a good scatter. I know it's... Yeah. Haven't you been
All right. A little bit. I am not nearly as good. I can do a trumpet, but I can't scat.
Oh, scatting's really easy. You don't even have to practice.
Yeah. Or if I don't practice, I just go boo, boo, boo over and over, and then it sounds like boo, boo, boob. So I need to practice what I'm saying.
Near, near, near always works.
Near, near, near. Okay.
Well, Norm, you went with, you said that was an older tune, hey?
Yep.
Well, I'll go with an older tune as well. I used to be a camp counselor, and it's amazing where songs come from. I was a lifeguard at this beach, and I was watching two kids, and they were spending entirely too much time with the seagulls on the end of the beach. And I went over and I realized they're trying to feed seagulls rice to, encourage a terrible demise for the seagull. And so I started thinking about this later that night, and I ended up writing this song kind of all in one go. And this is the first song I ever recorded. And this is a song about a seagull. I released it when I was 19 or so. The seagull's another misunderstood archetype I like to write about. I'm just a seagull. I'm scooping up shells for crabs. But a decent girl can't just walk the beach. 'Cause I'm just a seagull. These days I stroll the boardwalk looking for some good eats. But you never know what's about to find. I can't get the relief. Life's a bit tough when you're a seagull. I'm scrounging your trash for my bill, yeah. I never know if it's safe. I really gotta get out of this place. Ooh. I saw my buddy Blue Jay today. He was talking about some brand new thing. He said he was out on the fly, my brother, when he saw a seagull get exploded. He says to me, don't eat those little white things. They come from those big bad humans. Oh, they look so good to eat. Oh, they look so good to eat, brother. Oh, they look so good to eat, but you better not, my brother, yeah. Life will be tough when you're a singer, scrounging your trash for my million. I never know if this if I really gotta get out of this place. Out of this place. Thanks very much. Yeah, 2 to 3 more songs. 2 or 3, somewhere in there.
Well, I'm just weighing how much I want to play each thing, so like when I should play it. So I'll play the ones I want to play first, is probably a good method. This one's really new. I finished it on Friday morning.
Ooh.
Yeah. I only write in the winter, I feel like, in the fall, because the summer is just so busy. So I try to, like, really do it every day. And I was trying to write something funny. And it's like if you try to be funny, you can't be funny. So it didn't work. So I just kind of wanted to write about, I think, how I was, like, feeling, you know? And when I travel and I tour, I stay with people. That's how I can afford it. So I sleep on their couch or in their backyard or like spare room or something. And the same thing happens every time. It's like 3 days in, and they're like, so how do you afford to like be here with me this long if like you just play for tips? And I'm like, what? And they're like, well, yeah. And then it's that conversation about money with like somebody when I'm like, I don't ask how much you make as an accountant, because that's not really like, why would I ask? And I was just kind of getting frustrated lately, and even like loved ones and people that I know keep being like, well, it's good that you're being realistic about A, B, and C. And I just like was complaining about it to myself, and then I realized I'm like, if somebody's a doctor, I would never ever go up to a doctor and tell them how to do their job. So like, why does somebody feel like they can tell me how to play? And I think it's because music is such a hobby with people, and being a doctor isn't a hobby. If everybody's hobby was being a doctor, there'd be a lot of doctors that like do not make very much money, because somebody would be like, my uncle tried to be a doctor and like didn't go far for him. And it's like, well, I'm not a doctor as a hobby, or a lawyer or an accountant, so that makes a lot of sense. It's just like I'm lucky enough that this gets to be a hobby for a lot of people, and I get to travel and do it because people let me stay with them. So anyways, full circle. So this is a song about how I realized that the other day and was like, oh, I never feel like I'm like a philosopher of sorts, but I did on Friday. I feel I'm being pulled. One sec. I want it a little higher. I'm debating between the two keys still, and I've chosen. Sorry. I feel I'm being pulled in 2 dozen directions, and I feel I'm being sold at all of the world's auctions, but I'm doing all the bidding and I'm doing all the the talking, and nobody's wanting what I am selling. I made my breakfast with over 2 dozen eggs, and when I wash my hair at night, I use a whole bottle on my head, 'cause I'm doing all the trying and I'm doing all the talking, and nobody's wanting what I am selling. 'Cause if being a doctor was everyone's hobby, there'd be tons of doctors who don't make no money, so we tell them to get a real job or go hungry, but then who would be left to save all our families? 2 dozen times I've been told to be realistic and get my head on right, and 2 dozen times I blink back tears of frustration. You don't understand my life, though you think you might. What gives you the right to tell me 2 dozen times? I told somebody I went to work the other day, and he looked me in the eye and said, "Oh, you finally stopped singing," and I always let it slide. It's just his curious side. We'll both leave this conversation unsatisfied. 'Cause if being a lawyer was everyone's hobby, there'd be tons of lawyers who don't make no money, so we tell them to get a real job or go hungry, but then who would be left to represent our families? 2 dozen times I've been told to be realistic and get my head on right, and 2 dozen times I blink back tears of frustration. You don't understand my life, though you think you might. What gives you the right to tell me 2 dozen times? A doctor was everyone's hobby, there'd be tons of doctors who don't make no money, so we tell them to get a real job or go hungry, but then who would be left to save all our families? And I have a theory about all these opinions, that music is trafficked through media addiction. If there was as much content for being a pharmacist, I think I know the business and tell you how to do it. So since being a musician is everyone's hobby, there are many musicians who don't make much money, so we tell them to get a real job or go hungry, abandoning art, which brings joy and prosperity. 2 dozen times I've been told to be realistic and get my head on right, and 2 dozen times I blink back tears of frustration. You don't understand my life, though you think you might. What gives you the right to tell me 2 dozen times? Thank
Wow.
you.
Can I just stop you for... So what were those lyrics? Music is trafficked through...
Media. I think it's like if there was that much content on like Instagram about how to be a doctor and being a doctor and day in the life of being a doctor, I would feel like, damn, you're a doctor? I kind of feel like I know how to do that because I see it every day.
Yeah.
You know? And like they make it part of the job. So then like you're forced to use media and it just like propels that. And it's not a problem, but like people will be like, well, Nevaeh, like you could do this, or like, why don't you do this? And I'm like, I know somebody that does that. And that wouldn't work for me. You're just like, you just think you know. Like, I don't know the avenues of becoming a freaking accountant because it's not out there.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Amazing. Cool. Hell of a song.
I don't know how you remember all those lyrics, man.
Yeah, me either.
And I have jeans on, which is such a mistake. I'm trying to breathe, and I was like, because I'm not a rapper.
Maybe I'll just get a slight bit more guitar wherever the sound man is. I don't know where he is, but
Hayden? More Norm's guitar in his
Just a
monitor,
little more
please.
guitar for this song, anyway. The song is called "Play God," and like I said, I haven't been performing this song just a few times years ago. And one of the reasons why I stopped is because I felt the song is about. If some of you are old enough to remember what we called the Arab Spring. And that's what this song was. I wrote it when that was in the news, and sort of this awakening, what they called the Arab Spring, going on in mostly Libya and Syria. But lately I've been thinking about this song, thinking, man, these lyrics are starting to sound a little bit more timely to me in these days. So I thought I would play it tonight. I haven't played it for many, many years. And the funny, just one quick funny story about this song. I kind of wrote it with the Middle Eastern vibe in it, you know, and I wanted to write a song that was just a little bit different than what I'd normally written. And I just happened to be touring in Germany at the time, and I was in Hamburg playing at this club called the Einstein. And the owners were Syrian. And I got so excited when I found out they were from Syria. They were refugees from Syria. And they had escaped Syria in 1996, and they're owners of this great club, and so I got so excited, and I asked them to sit right in the front. This song is for you. I dedicated the song to Jan and Rasha, a man and his wife, and beautiful people. And so I sang the song, and I was so excited, and they sat and clapped, you know. And later on, I said, "So did that song sound anything like the music from where you're from?" And I remember he kind of looked at me and said, "No." But you come to my house, we make lamb together. Sun comes down like a desert hammer. Evening falls like a wall in Syria. In the land of the iron-fisted, hope is a word spoken in secrecy. See the madman clothed in a Bedouin shawl, just a tyrant thief riding from the talus wall. He looks like the devil. He looks like the devil. He looks like the devil trying to play God. He looks like the devil. He looks like the devil. Looks like the devil trying to play God. Caught in the lens of Al Jazeera, another day of rage dawns in Syria. Anger floods the road to Damascus, and their president mocks the mass hysteria. See the madman smile, suit and tie, hear the desperate chants, see the bullets fly. Looks like the devil. He looks like the devil. He looks like the devil when he tries to play God. Looks like the devil. Oh, he looks like the devil. He looks like the devil trying to be God. Is it twisting you, this clinging to absolute power? the devil. We look like the devil. We look like the devil when we try to play God. We look like the devil. Oh, we look like the devil. We look like the devil when we try to play God.
It's so heavy. That's
It's heavy,
awesome.
yeah. That's another reason why I don't play it very much.
Yeah. Well, I think we're in our final 2 rounds, 2-song call, which means, my friends, so I'm going to mention a couple things. So we've got 2 ways to take care of our artists, as Nevaeh kind of helped allude to. Yeah. But we do have a tip jar at the front that this gentleman is, thank you very much. And that's a cash tip jar. But up on the wall above the kitchen, there's a big QR code, and you'll see there are little red placards on the table. And if you could, yeah, perfect. And if you could visit those with your cell phone and donate what you're able to, that would be wonderful, because these 2 artists are hardworking artists, and they came out to throw a show for you here at Redbird. So. The other thing I do want to mention is I'm going to come deliver that cash tip jar to you. So after I play this song, I'm going to walk around with the tip jar, and I will gently ask if you can spare any change for the artists. Or $100 bills, if you can spare any $100 bills for the artists. Well, I'm going to go, so Norm's playing a bunch of tunes that he hasn't played in a long time, and I think I'm going to do that next. I'm going to play a tune that I haven't played since March, and I recorded it with my band, with Kentucky Eileen. I wrote this in Fernie, BC. I was on a window cleaning trip down in Fernie, BC, helping a buddy out, and it was peak COVID, so bars were sort of open because it was shoulder season, but, you know, it was one of those zones where we didn't know the rules. And my friends, being a bunch of crazy, you know, adventure tourism pals, they came to my show. I was performing at the Kodiak Lounge in Fernie, BC, and they came to my show and proceeded to dance on tables and kiss each other and hug all over the place and stuff, and this is peak COVID. And I remember watching and thinking, like, at this point, it had been 18 months or so, and we had gone through one winter already where we had lost those places where we gather. We couldn't really gather inside, and I thought it was magical. However, maybe, you know, teeth gritting, watching my friends do all this in a zone where we didn't really know what the rules were. And so I started writing this song that night after I got home. Because I think for those of us in a cold winter, especially a cold climate, I think we really need those places to gather in the winter, to get together, to, you know, be warm, to have conversation, because it's really easy to hermit, thank you, but it's really special to be able to be with people. So this is a tune I recorded it with Kentucky Eileen, and this is called The Winter Song. In a bar outside at sound, snow is coming down. We kick our boots and hang our coats, laugh and we talk and joke. Outside the doors, the blackest night, but the inside is full of light. They strike a chord. It's a funny thing, how the whole bar starts to sing. It's a long, cold winter here. In the song and story we persevere. When the nights grow long, come gather your fears, 'cause it's a long, cold winter here. Now by the road, some passers-by, neon catches their eyes. Through the board, they sing along all their hometown favorite songs. It's a long, cold winter here. In the song and story we persevere. When the nights grow long, come gather your fears. It's a long, cold winter. Now it's getting late, the taps are closed. We all put on our coats, catching eyes, shaking hands, just for one more week it's again. It's a long, cold winter here. In the song and story we persevere. When the nights grow long, come gather your fears. It's a long, cold winter here. One more. It's a long, cold winter here. In the song and story we persevere. When the nights grow long, come gather your fears. It's a long, cold winter here. It's a long, cold winter here. Hey, thanks you guys. That was really pretty.
Such a singable chorus. Wow.
Well, I'm gonna go shake our tip jar. Are you guys okay to hold it down for a tune each?
Oh, there's no telling what could happen, but
2 each?
One tune each.
1, 2 each.
One tune.
One,
Yeah.
What's 1, 2?
One song.
Okay, okay. I was so confused. I was like a 1 and a 2. Okay, I've got one more then. Does everybody know where Manchester is? Like northern UK? Yeah? Okay, so I played in the UK for 1 month this year between like in May and in June. And I went with a 55-liter backpack and my guitar and coats and hoodies. And I stayed with family members of like my childhood friends that I hadn't seen since I was really, really little and didn't remember them. So if you know where Manchester is and you take the train from Manchester a couple hours to Leeds, which is a town, and then if you take the train from Leeds a couple hours to Skipton, that's like a village. And then if you hitchhike from Skipton to a village called Colne, which has like a couple hundred people, I stayed there with my childhood friend's uncle's ex-girlfriend in her 10-year-old son's room while he was at his dad's. And she took me to these fields in Colne, and she's like, do you want to know what's cool about these? And I'm like, I have no clue. And she's like, almost all the witches in the UK were murdered here. And there's no signage or anything, because I think they just have so much history there. They don't bother labeling stuff like a lot of other places do. And so then forget that completely. Has anybody ever had their blood taken? Has anybody ever had their pee taken? Okay, only less people than I thought. I think you're all just shy. I was getting my pee taken, I don't know, this summer when I was home. And the nurse came up to me after I handed her my pee, and she's like, isn't it really annoying how like the pee jar is like long and thin and totally not designed for you to squat and pee in? And I'm like, I never noticed that issue. I have to burp, sorry. Until now. And she's like, yeah, so I'm all pissed off, and my boyfriend picks me up, and I start complaining to him, and he goes to school for business. So he's like, well, Nevaeh, like, it doesn't make much financial sense for them to remake the pee jar now, because everybody in the world uses the same standard, and they all use the same pee jar, and you'd be losing money. And I was like, screw you, drop me off at home. So we did. And I wrote this song, not about pee, but about the UK, because I was thinking, you know, if I was a woman in the UK back in the 1500s, and I was touring and playing my songs the way I do and humming something unfamiliar, they would use it as an excuse to get rid of you, and it was so easy. So this is a song not about the pee thing, but that prompted the song, so it's important to mention about women being accused of stuff. Back in 1582 on soil that we knew on ground from which we stand, she wouldn't kiss the hand that kept her beat as memories rolled down her cheeks. She walked away from the wicked ways of man. Past rivers flow and ravens crow. What got her through was a song of flesh and bone, and it goes. A few villages over, she started to start over, sold the remedies from when she was black and blue. In charge of herself, she started to come out of her shell, but an independent woman must mean something is askew. The villagers cried, we hear suspicious sounds at night, a witch is chanting, and it scares us to the bone, and it goes. She found herself surrounded one night by pitchforks and smoking light, tried to escape out the back, but it wasn't no use. They dragged her by the ankles, ransacked her home, snuffed her candles, and asked her questions. Her answers would only lose. Said, where's your husband? Where's the man? Your children who owns this land? Well, push and pull till you confess the truth. And she screamed, that got her away from that wicked man. Then they bound her feet, that carried her to being free. Then they shut her mouth, so no words could gurgle out, and said, "You'll drown, you'll drown, you'll drown." Back in 1582, in our waters, blue lay a woman accused. Threshing under open stone, with water in her bones, she sang the only song she knew. Thank you. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. I can't sing that high, no way.
That'd be weird if you could.
Have you figured out what note that is?
I've never even thought about it. I just wrote and then thought, like, kind of like, how low can you go? You
Yeah.
know, I never write based off guitar because I just don't feel very confident in it. But I did the guitar bit first, so I was like, I'm just going to see how high I can go.
It's like a C sharp.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Thanks.
Well, Mr. Norm Strauss, you have the honor of the last song of the night, my friend.
Will you help me sing it?
Ooh,
I need some help on this song because my voice always gives out.
I'd be happy to.
And it just goes like this. This is your part. And it really needs a group vocal on this song. So it goes like this. Lie, 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 la, la, lie, 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 lie. We'll try it again. Lie, 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 la, la, lie, 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 lie. This is an old, written in the style of the old Celtic love songs. And you know, back then, they would write these songs, and the rhythm and the feel of the song was meant to convey the sense of being at sea. So I wanted to write a song that made me sway back and forth, like I was on the ocean. This is a love song. I'm not one to be up and down. God knows I've been around. If there's somewhere I'd rather be, it's just deeper inside of me. I have traveled the Western world, watched as their flags unfurled, slept under foreign skies, I said all my sad goodbyes. Just when I thought I had found a place to hide, one look at you and my worlds begin to collide. You still move me like a ship on the rolling ocean. You still move me like the winds in the trees. You still move me so suddenly and completely. I know you still move me. Here we go. far away from the next frontier. That's where I built my home, right here. Safely I'll hide away, keep all those emotions at bay. I don't ask the world for much, just thank you for keeping in touch. But I've got a garden to tend, and I got these walls to defend. Just when I thought I had found a place to hide, one look at you and my worlds begin to collide. You still move me like a ship on the rolling ocean. You still move me like the winds in the trees. You still suddenly and completely, I know you still move me. Here we go. Somehow it all fails to send me to that place that I so long to go. I so long to go. You still move me like a ship on the rolling ocean. You still move me like the wind in the trees. You still move me so suddenly and completely. I know you still move me. Everybody now. Thank you very much.
Now, Norm, where can we find your music? Where can we find out about you? If we, like, I'm sure many people here fell in love with you tonight.
NormStrauss.com.
NormStrauss.com.
And also on Spotify.
Excellent.
There's an album I put out on Spotify called The Archives, and it's about 35 songs. So a bunch of my backlists. Norm
Set it
Strauss,
and
The
forget it.
Archives. That's what you look for.
Excellent, my friends. Give it up for Norm Strauss on your right. Make sure you go follow him. Nevaeh, where can we find you if we're falling in love with your music tonight and it's the first time we've ever seen you?
I have a website that's nevaehdyson.com, and all my social stuff is Nevaeh Dyson. Nevaeh is heaven backwards, and Dyson is like the vacuum. And you can find my stuff on Spotify. I have one thing, but it's like, I have one thing, but I'm recording more stuff right now that'll be out before the year's done. So.
More coming. Yeah. Excellent, my friends. Give it up for Nevaeh Dyson.
Hey, who are you?
And I'm Dan Tait. I'm your host every week. And if you want to sign up for open mic, sign up for next week. Starts now.
Where
so you can
find your stuff?
Oh,
Dan?
my stuff. It's
Trying to
on.
get 'em.
It's on the Spotify. It's on Instagram. Just search Dan Tait. Tait. I don't have a cool phrase for how to spell my name, but I should. It would be very inappropriate. All right, my friends. Thank you so much, and take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Give it up one more time for these two fabulous artists.